Hey everybody, welcome back. Jeremy here, and as you can see, I've got the Arrma Fazon Voltage final review video. This one's taken some time to get to this process. I bought this car back in late fall, so weather's kind of made it tough to get the full number of runs in that I would personally like to do to get a review out. But with my run the other day of this on Monday, I finally hit that point. And let me start off by saying you can get this car or the Granite for $99 from multiple places shipped to your door. The only difference between the Fazon and the Granite is body stylings and tires and wheels. It's the only difference. I picked this one up because it was just different. I didn't have anything like this in the collection. But let me start off first by saying a lot of the videos that I've seen online, things that I've read online, some people out there saying that they don't believe this to be a hobby grade RC. They view it as more of a toy grade. My opinion, I respectfully disagree with them. I fully feel that this is a hobby grade RC through and through. Yes, some things might have been done to cut costs, but to keep the price point at $99, I have absolutely zero issue with that. This car is intended for entry-level hobbyists, people that might want to dip their toes into the RC world to see if they like it or not, and they don't have to break the bank to do it. A lot different than 20, 30 years ago when I was a kid and I started out with Tamiya kits, which I love, but that was an expensive process to get started in the hobby. And with this for $99, the only thing you got to bring to the table is 4 AA batteries for the transmitter, and you're ready to roll. So first things first, I'll take the lid off. And you notice the chassis, they call it a split line monocoque chassis. It actually comes apart down the center into two pieces. Some people say that was a cheap way to go. I personally have no issues with it. It's very durable, and everything comes together, in my opinion, pretty well. It's also a mid-motor design, which is always nice. Leads to a little bit more level jumping, unless you're me and you watch my last video. I absolutely am a terrible driver, but it also helps protect the motor with crash impacts. It is Phillips head hardware throughout. Doesn't bother me. While I like hex hardware, I've also stripped out a fair number of hex heads myself, so that was not a huge deal to me. With this package, you get oil-filled shocks for plenty of dampening, ball bearings throughout. And for ready-to-run tires, I gotta say that these, I think they call them DeBoots, dirt runners, are actually quite soft. There are some thin foams in there, but I think for a ready-to-run package, the tires perform quite well, actually. Metal dog bone shafts in the back. Not really, hardly any adjustability. There's no shock adjustments. There's no camber angle adjustments, nothing like that. But for this package, I don't think that there needs to be. To me, this is a kind of car that you pick up, you charge up the batteries, you take it outside, you run the heck out of it, you beat on it, you put it away, wash, rinse, repeat. And this car will keep, at least in my experience, this car will take what you give it in stock form. And the other thing here, they give you a 3-in-1 ESC receiver combo, again, to keep costs down. I had no issues with it. The stock servo that's in here utilizes 5 wires, but if for some reason yours craps out or you want to upgrade your servo, this will accept an industry standard 3-wire servo, no problem. And one other thing about this that Arrma did that I like is they give you 3 different options of what kind of batteries you can run. You can run the stock supplied 3.7 volt 1500 milliamp hour lithium ion cells. You can run nickel metal hydride batteries, or you can run a 2S LiPo. I like that they give you 3 options. I'll get back to the batteries in a second. But it's everything's all waterproof. I've taken it through the water without any issues. I did see a couple videos out there where people did have issues with the waterproofing on their car, and I think those were probably just quality assurance issues. But for me and my purposes, I've had no issue with the electronics, no issues with anything whatsoever braking on this car. I have been extremely pleased with it. Back to the batteries. These lithium ion cells, I don't know if it was something that Arrma was hoping would kind of revolutionize the industry. Maybe it started to, I don't know. I don't really pay attention. But I have plenty of lipos laying around, so for my own personal needs, I don't really have a use for these. You can use up to 6 of these in this car, which will give you, I think they say, up to a half hour or so run time. I will say the only time that I use these batteries on the first run, I was very surprised that I got 14 minutes out of them. So that was pleasing. But other than that, for my testing purposes, I kept this car stock other than running a 2S LiPo. So if you open up the battery bay here, this slides out. This is where you put those lithium ion cells. I used a couple different batteries, and I got a few here that I'm going to show you. If you want to run LiPo, I still have one of these old Turnigy Nanotech. That's always good for them. Flat packs. This will actually sit right inside the battery tray, close up just fine, and will hook up fine. The batteries that I tend to use most, though, for most of my rigs, are these Gens Ace LiPos. And you are not going to be able to use a battery like this where you've got your balance leads in the middle of the battery, because you will not be able to get it out through that small space. The other battery that I used for some of my running was this Hexfly 3500 milliamp hour LiPo. I was able to fit this battery in here. God bless you. I've got a sick kid home today. I was able to tuck the balance leads in without any issues. Gesundheit. I was able to tuck these in here without any issue, get this closed up, and everything was just fine. But just something to keep in mind if you pick this up and you want to go LiPo, make sure you get a LiPo with your leads on one side of the battery, because once you close that up, you've only got that little hole here. Again, something to just keep in mind. Also, the motor on here, a 20-turn brushed 540 size motor. They allow 3 different motor mounting positions to allow you to use 3 different types of pinion gears, which I was also impressed with that. And I think a lot of thought went into this car for the price you pay for it. I thought after getting this review done that I might put one of my cheaper brushless combos in here, and I still might. But what I was thinking was, I remember I still have one of these dynamite brush motors that came out of that stinker, the Outbreak. This is a 13-turn motor, but it's a 550 size. I'm going to see if I can fit that in here, and just going down 7 turns should really wake this car up enough. And if I can get it to fit in there, I think that's going to be plenty for this car. If I can't get it to fit, then maybe I'll go with that brushless combo. But no matter what motor or system I decide to put in here, you can be sure this isn't the last that you've seen of the Fazon. You know, for $99, a lot of times after I run and review a car, like I've said before, a lot of times I'll sell my stuff just so I can afford to get new cars to put on the channel here. But I think for $99, you can't expect on any RC that you resell to get much of your value back. So for $99, this has been fun. I can hand it to my son, have him go outside and play with it, and feel good about that. So I'm going to hang on to it. Like I said, I'll upgrade the motor, and when I do that, I'll be sure to check back in with you guys. I didn't mention the radio either. Standard 2.4 gigahertz radio. You've got some adjustabilities, but it's a no-frill radio. The bottom seems kind of weird to me, but I mean, everything works just fine, fits in my hand just fine, operated just fine. So I think that's going to do it. I tried to keep this short, but at the same time, I felt that I needed to give this car I needed to give it its props. I think for the money, for what you get, it is a fantastic bargain. I would definitely recommend this to anybody that would ask me, you know, should I pick this up for myself? Should I pick it up for my kid? I'd recommend it to anybody. It's been a lot of fun. It's been very durable in the form that it's in right now. and I'm definitely going to keep it. And who knows, for $99, because they're still out there for that much, I might just go ahead and pick up a grand or two, because it's been a whole lot of fun. So I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I went a little longer than I wanted to, but I wanted to pay respects to this car and to Arrma for a really great product. But that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope if there was something you needed to learn, I hope you learned it in my review. I feel good about this car. Until next time, everybody take care. Have a great day. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that when I keep doing new stuff, you guys will know about it. Till next time, take care. Have a great day, everybody.